In the world of the money market funds, this May seems to have started fairly well, with the drop slowing down a bit. And as we approach the normal money market fund averages, today we shall look at how the money market funds in both the Kenya shilling, the dollar, and the fixed income funds performed as at the 2nd of May. And since we are in a new month, we always start with the inflation for the previous month. And as you know, this average is very, very, very important because it will show us, show you the real growth of your investments or loss if you are not investing your money. And to start with, those who are not investing at all or saving elsewhere where they are not earning anything in returns or interest hakuna, you just lost 4.1% of your money. This was the average inflation rate for April, or the month of April. And I think it's good to start from this point, by the way, so that everyone can realize why it is important to start saving or accumulating or putting your money in an investment account, not just a savings account. The inflation did rise. It rose from 3.6% the previous month to settle at 4.1%, majorly due to a few important things that shot up in price, such as the vegetables, the tomatoes, then the price of maize and maize flour, na pia sigara pia ukiangalia hapa na cooking oil. But we hope things hold a bit steady for this month of May. And moving over to the Treasury Bills, we had an undersubscription in general. Na kwa wale hawaelewangi history ya undersubscription, oversubscription, what it means, so that usibaki nyuma, ni that the government needed a certain amount of money, ama they had a goal to raise a certain amount, then outcome of the whole process ends up at either less than expected, which ndio we call undersubscription, or more than what they needed, which is the oversubscription in this case. And in this week's example, ukicheki hapa hivi, just to make you understand even better, the target amount yenye gava ilikuwa ina need was 24 billion. Ukiangalia hapa, this 24,000 you see over here is simply in millions. Hiyo hapo as shown over here. Therefore, the total subscribed bills were 18.372 billion. Are we together to that point? Great. So the 364 days option will return 10.00%, which in this case was investors' favorite, as we can see from the oversubscription here. Tushaongelea oversubscription, eh? The Treasury needed 10 billion only, but got 14.9 billion, which was over 81% of the total money invested kwa Treasury Bills this week. The 6-month option and the 3-month counterpart, pia, they seemed very unattractive because they returned 8.61 and 8.40%, I think, respectively. Very few people wanted this alternative. I shall update you if this week we will be seeing a single-digit return across the 3 options, the Treasury Bills. And now moving over to the United States dollar money market fund category, even though the reds were more than the greens, as you can see, the average kind of remained around the same as last week, the last report. The drop was very little. Jubilee, Etica, and Kuza remained the first 3 on the list. Na hii wiki Nabo did a huge jump from position 9, wakakuja hadi position 4. Nabo, Old Mutual, and KCB are the only companies or fund managers that recorded a slight increase. Ndio maana unaziona hizo peke yake ndio ziko kwa green. And what about the fixed income funds, or the FIFs, that category? This week, apart from Etica, who maintained 13.69%, every other company recorded a slight drop compared to their last week's results. Another interesting thing to note is that compared to the last report that we did, all companies or fund managers retain the same position, like from position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hizo zote, the same as last week. Kuza, Etica, and Madison gave us our top 3 fund managers respectively. Zimele wakasettle at 12.42, and NCBA can retain the same last spot and also remain the only company with a single-digit return. Most of the fixed income funds are now returning, by the way, slightly more than their money market fund sisters, but the difference isn't that noticeable yet, because nika difference kadogo sana. Remember that fixed income funds are not fixed deposits. They are not fixed deposits. Here, to repeat saying this, hadi those who keep asking, also, how long will my money be fixed wakati I'm going for the fixed income funds? So ile siku utapata clear ndio tutaacha. So far literacy kwa financial hizi stories za money market funds is getting better and better for most people, and that really makes me happy. And as I move on to the Kenya Shilling Money Market Fund, I would like to encourage you who hasn't opened a money market fund account yet. Please, you need to do so right now. Okay, let's say like after this video. There's nothing nice as mastering your money, enjoying liquidity, and earning returns while going for your financial goals. Always prioritize good service, reliability, and convenience when choosing a fund manager ama MMF company to invest in. Don't chase returns cause utachoka, my friend. Your company will be number 1 today and tomorrow itaruka number 6 or number 10. That's the nature of investments. So will you constantly chase the next number 1? What I don't tolerate enyewe on my side is extreme drops. That kind of erratic behavior of non-consistency ama bad client service. Anyway, this week, the average dropped from 11.48 to 11.28%. And as you can see this week, the whole chart is purely red, save for 2 fund managers, one that had a slight increase and the other one maintained in gray. One more thing, Gulf Cup is finally back in the list kwa wale wamekuwa kiuliza, and this week we don't have a 14% return. I think by the time we get to the next week, we might have a few to no 13% returns as well. Anyway, for those who are in the game all the way back in 2020 and before, you can actually attest that returns are now zoning back to the usual money market fund averages. The best performing should be around the Treasury Bills annual rate +1. Hiyo ndo anga benchmark. So let's see how things unfold. There was no much movement up or down that's worth noting, apart from NABO, it dropped down from position 7 last week penye walikuwa. 7 companies are on single digit returns, and if you look at the last column over here, you would realize that your real net return after tax and factoring in the inflation factor, you might be growing by a very small margin. For example, if you are Kwazidi and its net return after tax is 7.35%, then if we take away 4.1% in inflation, then the real growth here is 3.05%. You get it? Anyway, at times like this, do not relent. Keep the main thing the main thing. You tunaregelea up all the time. Start now. Start accumulating. Tomorrow, you will have enough capital, and I repeat, you will have enough capital to be able to have options. Money will give you options. I will leave you with this wise saying over here. It's not necessarily how much money that you earn that will make or change your life. It is how much money that you keep from that which you earn. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.